What's going on YouTube? It's AKingsCreation again, bringing you guys another guide. Now this guide is more so catered towards returning players and new players making these mistakes. A lot of veterans already know about these mistakes and are avoiding them, especially if they're already at the end game in like 4,500 or so. So without further ado, we're going to break down all the mistakes that I believe that players are making right now as they are coming into this game and returning or new. So let's go ahead and avoid those mistakes. Let's get into it. All right, the first big mistake that I want to mention is coming into this game not realizing how late you are into this game and how behind you are in this game, which therefore means don't experiment too much with builds and weapons. That is the mistake I am seeing a lot with newer players. They are coming into this game and they're trying out different weapons and different builds, and they're upgrading them and then taking them back away by going to something completely new. Understand in that tutorial where it shows you like all the different weapons, like a video of each weapon and what it can do, please understand your playstyle before you start upgrading weapons and gear, because you are super behind as is now and you don't have time to keep testing out different builds and experimenting. Okay, it's important that you choose a weapon and build that suits your playstyle. I'm just showing a list of different weapons here. As you guys can see, you got the great sword, you got the sword and shield, you got the daggers, longbow, crossbows, staff, wand, and spear, right? Know exactly what your favorite weapon is, what your playstyle is. Are you close range? Are you long range? Do you want to be tanky, absorb as much damage? Do you want to heal people? Know exactly what it is, because while some experimentation is fine, consistently switching will slow down your progress. The weapon mastery system rewards sticking with a single weapon or two, so changing too often will put you behind. And they're changing the mastery system and making it even harder in Talandre. So what the mastery system is, for those who don't know, is where you have to level up your weapons. This will change when Talandre comes out, this mastery tree right here. But I just want to show you that it takes a lot of experience or XP to get these weapons up to mastery 20, okay, which is the current max right now. So if you swap around too much, you're going to be so behind. And when people, and you're fighting against people, if you are interested in PvP, or as the content gets harder in PvE and you're not high mastery like 19 or 20, your weapon damage won't be as strong as someone else's. So please keep that in mind. That is mistake number one. Okay, next up, I want to go ahead and talk about the growth books. Growth books are very important, especially if you're coming back into this game. You want to save them up as much as possible for later in your journey. Once you figure out your playstyle, once you have the two weapons that you believe is your favorite and you can play with for a while, this is when you can start using your skill books. But I highly recommend, until you have all that done, save it up until later in the game when you better understand your preferred build. Skill growth books are essential for improving your skills, and using them without a clear plan can be detrimental in your late game. So if you use them in the beginning, like I said before, and then you start changing builds around, start changing weapon around, you're going to be so miserable in the end game, because you're going to be continuously farming them. And the higher you get in the tier of your skills, the more you need in terms of resources to get to the next level. So the grind will be even longer. It's better to hoard these books and use them strategically when you know what kind of character you want to build. Okay, let's talk about your low tier gear. So like when you're a returning player or a new player, you're going to start off with gray gear, then green, then blue, then purple. If you're at the end, or you already know what you're trying to build, you know what your weapons are going to be, and you're going to go ahead and go from blue to purple, do not sell any of these to the vendors. That is the worst thing you can possibly do. Look at each of the traits on each of the weapons that you have, or say if you leveled up your blue gear, you want to go ahead and go to transfer, right? And I don't have an example here, but if I had this belt, right, it's a purple belt, you know, I just picked it up and I want to transfer my blue belt that's like level 9 to this level, then I can transfer it over. You don't want to sell these to the vendors. That's a waste of a gear piece, especially if it has the trait you're looking for. Say for example, like this weapon, I still need one more trait for the heavy attack chance. if I had a blue spear or a blue weapon that had heavy attack chance, I can convert that item to my purple item with a chance of, if it fails, then I'll accumulate blessing. And what blessing does is the more you accumulate, the higher chance you'll have for your next roll. Okay, so use these wisely. Now, say for example, you want to have Lucent. Blue gear is the best gear to sell for Lucent. If you have purple, you kind of want to hold on to it, especially now that we're preparing for Talandre. If you have blue gear and, like, say for example, this one has health regen on it, obviously that nobody's going to use this, and you're probably not going to use this on your weapons. So you probably want to just go ahead and dissolve this one because you won't be able to sell it on a market. But say for example, this one has hit chance, right? You want to go ahead and take the trade off of that, right? Boom. Once you take the trade off of that, go to the auction house and go to sell, and then click sell on the auction house. More than likely it will sell because hit chance is very viable when it comes to weapons. All right, so use those wisely. Do not sell them to vendors. I've seen people sell it to vendors and be like, oh, I just needed some Lucent to travel somewhere. That is, I mean, not Lucent, Solent to travel somewhere. That is completely wrong. All right, so fix that mistake. All right, as you progress through the game, this is another mistake that people are making when they return or are new. They are still believing that the enchanted ink is good to buy. Now, it is good to buy just to have weekly because it's a weekly limit and you might as well get it. But keep in mind that it's not being used right now because lithographs are being lower and lower in price on the auction house due to Talandre about to come out. So people are hoarding these. And if you want to build up, lithographs for the first week of Talandre drop, and like say you get like a weapon that is part of the T2 series, then you can use lithograph to make a lot of Lucent. So technically you can use this for saving it for Talandre, but it is not used now currently. So don't use this. Don't be crafting lithographs right now because that'll be a waste. All right, so keep that in mind. That is a mistake. So with the contract coins, okay, you want to, after you complete your contracts, which offer valuable resources, it's recommended to save these coins until you reach level 50 to maximize your rewards, okay? And keep in mind, I highly recommend getting Mystic Keys. They're daily 5, okay, for 15 each, right? So you want to go ahead and get this first before anything else on here. These stones you don't need to worry about, especially if you're before level 50. Just get to level 50 and then start buying everything else. But this is priority. This is number one. So if you're not doing this when you open up your coin merchant or talk to the coin merchant, you're not doing this same exact process, then you're probably doing it wrong. All right. So this is the first priority purchase that you need to make. After that, you need to go ahead and get your rare parchment so you can level up your skills as you are progressing, especially if you're returning and your skills are not maxed. This is the second most important thing that you need to grab. All right. The third most important thing you need to grab is the trait extraction stones. Remember, I showed you in the prior mistake that if you have blue gear and you have traits that are not useful to you but are still sellable, then you need to have these trait extraction stones saved up for that reason. Now, another reason is, like, if you're just now hitting 50 and you don't have any single purple weapons, then obviously you need to go for the precious blessing pouch because it has a chance at dropping one of the purple weapons so you can get started on your purple journey. All right, the heroic hood of resistance at the very bottom is definitely used currently in the end game as well for a lot of hit chance builds. All right, so keep that in mind. Do not be buying this quality lithograph. Do not buy that. Also, I highly recommend not buying this because it uses 1,500 coins, and it just doesn't make sense to use, especially if you're just now returning or new or coming into the game. So use all your other coins for the important resources like I mentioned before. All right, so that's a mistake. Well, that pretty much wraps up this video for now. The video's starting to get too long, and I know a lot of people don't like long form videos that long, and also I don't like talking that long. So if you guys enjoyed all these mistakes, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel and this helped you out. I also have a lot more mistakes a lot of people make. If you guys want to see a part 2 of this video or another part of this video when Talandre comes out, let me know in the comments below. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace. People are wondering if I live stream. Yes, I only live stream for my members. Hey everyone, thank you for watching my video. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel, make sure you guys check my membership tab. I have supporter, big supporter, and huge supporter. Each tier comes with more benefits. So if you guys are interested, make sure you check it out. How do you access it? You can go to my about page if you're on the desktop and just scroll all the way down to memberships, join now, or you can check the description of each video. Thank you.